All right, Chicago Hockey Radio. Justin Lynch, Lee Grossman, Tassos Kirkos, Raven Gasser. Friday mid-afternoon. Here we are live on the Chicago Hockey Radio YouTube channel. Click subscribe if you haven't already. We want as many subscribers as possible on this YouTube channel, so that way when we are live next Tuesday post Hawks versus Utah Hockey Club, that we can get some folks watching. So thank you to everybody for stopping by the program right now. Happy to have the fellas aboard. Happy to have Lee back off the IR, although he is over Zoom. Let's throw it over to the boys. First, let's throw it to Lee. Lee, how you feeling today, brother?
Good. A lot better. I feel like I'm on, I've been skating non-contact for the past couple days, couldn't come into the studio just yet. No, but I'm good. I'm still sore. Surgery happened like Tuesday morning. So I just didn't feel like hopping on Wednesday. I couldn't give it my full energy. So I just watched you guys have an amazing show. But we're back. We're back.
We're back. The man, the myth, the legend, Justin Lynch. How you doing today, brother?
Very good. And yeah, no, we're definitely very happy to have Lee back, although without his appendix, rip that. But no, definitely good to be back. And yeah, hopefully we can win one of these preseason games coming up here and not be winless.
Yeah.
All right.
Tonight.
So yes. Blackhawks edition of Chicago Hockey Radio, we are here. Do you, Justin, I know you had some thoughts on the Every Shift series that they do with the Blackhawks. Is this something, one, that we need to start like watching as a group and analyzing and really getting into the weeds of? Is this going to be like our Hard Knocks a little bit?
We should.
I think why not, right? I mean, I think that's something they've been doing the last few years, and I enjoy it. I think it's good production. You kind of see more of the behind the scenes things of the Blackhawks and kind of how things are going on. So I think it's pretty cool. First episode I would say was kind of mid this season. I don't know, like they spent like the first like 10 minutes focused on Ryan Donato's offseason, where it's like no disrespect to Ryan Donato. He's a great guy, hard worker, happy to have him. But it's like of all the players on this team that we could focus on this offseason, why him? Like you could have found something more interesting story to focus on. It's like that took up like half the episode. When they actually got to the Blackhawk stuff with the training camp, on all that stuff, the preseason, I thought it was pretty good, right? But yeah, I was like, it was definitely a slow start for sure, but I think it was a decent finish. But for sure,
yeah, it was like five minutes in, and I was like, dude, it's still Ryan Donato's hometown. I need to start skipping through some of this. So yeah. I skipped a little bit, I'll say. But yeah, once it got to the Blackhawk stuff and it was Frank Nazar and them playing pickleball and stuff, that it was entertaining.
That was cool. That was pretty fun. Yeah, Nick Foligno was definitely the comedy king of that episode, man. Like, I swear that's like half the reason why they gave him the C is just his personality. He's awesome. Was just really comfortable in that environment, the cameras and lights, and yeah, definitely the perfect guy to lead this team.
Yeah.
Is there anything you ever pull from this kind of series that maybe you didn't really tell, or something you couldn't, like, was there something from it that you're just like, oh, I didn't really know that, and then now I do?
Oh, that's a good question.
I think it's like personality types, and like, I don't know, like just watching the episode yesterday, I'm like, damn, like KD really is the man, just like watching him interact with like everyone throughout the episode and like talk about guys, and you kind of see his vision a little bit. I'm like, dude, this guy is awesome.
Yeah, just seeing him interact with like Foligno's kids and stuff, and like just the whole way that was done, like that was so classy. The way they brought the kids in to reveal the C, like when they announced it to the team, like that was just pretty cool. And then Foligno's like the kind of little bits we got from his conversation, his press conference, and then his interactions of like Taylor Hall and stuff. Like I thought that was pretty cool as well. And also like Turbo, he kind of seems a lot like Bedsy personality wise. He gets a lot quieter, doesn't really like the cameras. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Like he's been here before, and I don't even know if I really knew that about him. So that was an interesting tidbit to learn as well. Yeah.
So I think it was on Real Kipper and Bourne. They were talking about the NHL Amazon series, which I should throw out there. I mentioned this on Good Morning Hockey, but I did screw up. I thought it wasn't available in the United States, but lo and behold, if you have Amazon, you can watch it. And they were talking about, Nick Kypreos wasn't really thrilled about the Connor McDavid stuff and the fact that that's like an intimate locker room moment. And I guess, like none of us are former NHLers. Like we've never been in that setting and in that locker room. So I can't really, tell, but like, what is the line, do you guys think? Like, should there even be a line of like, oh, this stuff is like just for the locker room and this stuff is for the general public. Because now with this Amazon thing, we're gonna get I watched 20 minutes of it and I thought the exclusivity into what they were talking about was something I had never really seen before in hockey.
I think it's just cool to see that in general. It's like with McDavid, I know he gets a lot of these allegations that like he's like doesn't have a personality, he doesn't lead, but it's like you see that right there. I do find it funny they see these people like complaining about it too, calling him a baby. It's like anyone else in that position, Crosby, Taves, any other captain would be doing the same thing, ripping their team down 3-0 at home in the Stanley Cup final. Like you want to see that. That's a leader. And the team clearly responded. I mean, they nearly came back down 3-0. So, but in terms of the line, I guess I don't really have any thoughts on that. Lee, I don't know if you have any thoughts on the line, I guess.
Yeah, I do. But first of all, to what you said, anybody who's calling him a baby for that reaction has never played competitive sports or
Yeah.
been good at competitive sports. Because it's like if you've played competitive sports, you've either been there or you've seen somebody on your team, like, leader on your team acting that way. And no, as far as the line being crossed, I think that's the most horseshit thing ever. If you want to grow the game, you can't be worried about, oh, we're be crossing the line, showing what they
Yeah.
talk about in the locker room. It's like, dude, they've made these Prime has made these documentaries for Premier League soccer, and they'll just show these coaches just running into the locker room, just yelling, "Everyone, shut the fuck up and sit down!" Like they don't give a fuck about anything. Like you cannot be worried about the line. It's so like refreshing to see these guys like down to like, their true personalities and how they actually act. If you want to grow the game and grow these superstars, that's how you got to do it.
Exactly what the NHL is missing right now, too. It's not showing enough of that personality of these players kind of off the ice. So I think it's definitely what they need right now. So I would definitely agree. Yeah.
Connor, get some Connor Bedard in there the next time we get one of these series going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
I'm kind of glad they're not having to deal with that right now. It's like I think Lee mentioned this. Like we really want to see that right now, the way this team's at right now. It's like when we're contending again in the positions that Oilers are in McDavid right now. Like that's when we want to see it. When we're a playoff team, like a contending team, but a rebuilding Blackhawks team, I don't know if we really want to see Bedard just more pissed off behind the scenes. But in the future, for sure, is definitely something we want to see for sure.
And I don't know if they've talked about it yet, but I hope they start doing this like every year. At least every postseason. I think that would be sick. That's what for the all or nothings, the soccer ones, they've done them every year, but they follow one team. That's the only difference. They don't follow like a bunch of players, how they're doing, which I think with the 32 team league, they should stick to this format where you follow like a few players. But yeah, I hope they do it again this year and kind of mix it up, give us like different players.
That's not good enough. It's the finals. Dig
So
in.
Are we losing Justin a little bit?
so
bit of a Wi-Fi issue here.
I might be losing you.
Oh, how we doing, fellas?
You good over there? Yeah, we're good. I'm here.
Okay, all right, we got the fellas back.
You good?
Yeah, they're both frozen. You're both frozen right now.
Oh, yeah, probably on your guys' end, a Wi-Fi thing, you said?
I mean, you're on a telephone right now, so I don't know that it's not. I don't know that it's not.
I'm here. I see Justin. You're the only one that was like lagging a little bit.
A little blurry, yeah.
All right, well, it might be me then. So we'll take it from here. So first of all, actually, we did get a question live in the chat right now, which is pretty exciting. So let's go ahead and answer the question live in the
Somebody's
chat. Somebody's
watching? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So the question was, he said, how's everyone feeling about the CHSN broadcast situation? Do we think the Xfinity deal could get done soon? I'm trying to do some research into the deal that he is talking about, but I haven't seen anything yet.
I'm hoping they get it done for YouTube TV because that's how I've been watching most of the Blackhawks games. But yeah, Xfinity as well. Yeah, I mean, in terms of CHSN, it's like I feel like it's been pretty good quality stuff. But I promise it could only reach so much people, right? And that's definitely a problem that they gotta get figured out. And the fact that we're this close to the season already, it's like so many people in Chicago can't even watch the games. It's kind of it's kind of BS.
That's what I'm worried about is like, where the hell am I going to be watching? Like, am I going to have to stream them? Because I watch a ton of games, especially pretty much all my NHL games that I watch. I have ESPN Plus and I just use it on there.
That's what I'm watching.
But they do like they've been doing the blackout things.
Yeah,
and so it's like, it's criminal. And I guess you have the channel if you have a Stown broadband, which I do have at my apartment. So I guess I need to try to figure that out. But it's like really sucks. Like if I have to use like a sketchy Russian site all year, I'm gonna be pretty upset.
NHLwebcast.com came in clutch, but yeah, this feels like the early 2000s again, like a rebuilding Blackhawks team that's like hardly on TV. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like we're reliving the glory days here in a bit. The next dynasty's coming, boys.
So
Yeah.
I do have some information for you guys, and it says that right now the network will still be available on DirecTV and 2 digital channels accessible by Antenna, which will broadcast broadcast Bulls, Blackhawks, and White Sox games, and provide analysis programming. CHSN is yet to strike a deal with Xfinity, leaving it off the largest cable provider in the area.
Yeah. See, that's what's so brokey about it, is that it's for people with an antenna. It's like, who has an antenna?
Yeah, you have to get one installed to watch the Blackhawks.
That's like the most.
What
like,
is this? Is this the 1980s? Like,
yeah, I'm not poor. I did.
It's ridiculous.
I'm not using an antenna. Yeah, that's really problematic. I didn't know that Xfinity was trying to get a deal done. They better fucking do whatever they have to, because it's horrible. Like I don't want to have to either listen to the radio every time or, like I said, Vipro.me, a legal streaming site. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Keyword.
Should mention, we love anybody asking us questions too. We also got a DM the other day asking us about Kevin Korchinski right before he was sent down to
that guy called it, man.
Yeah, he did call it. So shout out that guy too. He goes by Toad on Instagram. I think his name is Todd.
Shout out
Toad from Mario Kart. I like it.
Yeah, shout out Toad, and shout out whoever asked the question about CHSN. That's going to be a real big story to monitor over the course of the season, and how this, at least in the early goings, like how they actually get all the deals done and how it looks and how it sounds and what the accessibility is like. I think that's a big thing for hockey here. I feel like that was also such an issue. I know you were joking about, feels like the early 2010s again, where we're struggling to find the Hawks on TV, but that was, you look at the early 2000s, that was a big problem for the Hawks, was them not being
really
on TV.
Off of TV.
Yeah. You had to go to bars and stuff.
Yeah. All right. So Friday preseason game, they do play tonight versus Minnesota, and then they play tomorrow against the Blues in Milwaukee. Justin, you seem to think it's going to be pretty much an NHL lineup for both games, right?
Yeah, no, I think so. Yeah, I mean, today it looks like, Tavo, Bedsy, Burt, that's the first line. Looks like that's what they want for opening night too, like that line, which is exactly what I said I wanted in the early episodes for that top line, Bedsy. I think those are the guys you want with him. So Tavo, I think this is only his second preseason game, so it's nice to see him back in there. And yeah, hopefully we can cook with those two. But kind of interesting tidbit, we got Hull, Kirsch on the second line, Mikheyev. Reichel is out. He's not in the lineup tonight. He's outside looking in, which just shows you how awful his preseason's been. So he'll probably play Saturday, I would imagine. But yeah, I mean, the fact he's been the way he's been this preseason is definitely not very encouraging. So he's got to get his shit together. Yeah, third line, Foligno, Dickinson, Anderson. That was a good fourth line last year. So, or I mean, not really fourth line. That Hawks team was more like a second or third line, but I thought those three worked well together. So I think I like seeing them back together. And the fourth line, Maroon, Donato, Smith. So that should be interesting. But yeah, Anthony C was also outside the lineup with Reichel. So those two are at least together. But yeah, I mean, not ideal at the moment, but they should be in Saturday. And deep pairs, you got Brody Jones. Martinez is still out. I don't know what his deal is, if he's dealing with something maintenance wise like Kaiser is, but he's out.
I think it's load management. That's what Richardson said, I think. So
okay, fair enough.
Hopefully he's fine.
Because they still got Vlasic Jones split up, which I still am not a fan of, but whatever. We got Vlasic Murphy second pair, and Alan Phillips. I guess those two will battle for that last spot once Kaiser gets back. I mean, one of them should get sent down. So, and then I think Mrazek's starting tonight. So, I mean, that's pretty much a full NHL lineup. I mean, we got like basically three guys outside, but otherwise it's the full squad. So, I mean, now it's now or never to get that win, right? I mean, just win one of these two games just to show he can do it. I think we got today at home Minnesota, and then tomorrow I think is the Milwaukee game versus the Blues. So, yeah, we'll see.
With the Martinez and Jones thing and Vlasic being split up from Jones, Richardson did say yesterday that moving forward they want to split up Vlasic and Jones, which we've talked about already, but he kind of confirmed that, and then he just said that like if they need to, if they're playing like if they've got McKinnon or McDavid in, or whoever top line that they're dealing with, they'll throw Jones and Vlasic together for some like specific matchups. But he said that he wants to keep Martinez up on the top line, and so I think that goes back to like they want to use him as a trade chip, and they want him to look as good as possible and play the most amount of minutes. So I just think that seems to be like the most obvious is like why they're doing that.
Yeah, I think also like in terms of the load management thing, I think they have a similar game plan for another 1-year contract, but on the forwards, Taylor Hall. They mentioned like they're not going to play him like more than 4 consecutive like days this year, which I imagine that mean like maybe sitting out of practice here. They're similar to what Martinez is doing because those guys are both getting up there. They've both dealt with injuries, so when you're dealing with players like that, and especially very interesting contract situations, you don't want to risk injury, right? Especially if a guy like Hall missed so much time last year. So I think it's like you said, load management, and that applies to other players in that position. Yeah.
And back to what you were saying about Reichel, this year it's like the pressure is 5 times higher than last year because we already seen it just like today how he's not in the lineup. It's like we've got so many more like players this year, like NHL caliber players, that it's like if he's going to be asked for 4 or 5 games in a row, it's not like he's going to get that 6th, 7th game. Like they're going to send him down. Like he's not going to have the opportunities to like keep being bad, and like he's got to perform every single night.
And he's past his ELC now. He's got the 2-year contract. So like, isn't that wouldn't he have to go on waivers then if we had to send him down? Am I wrong in saying that? Yeah. So that's another issue. I mean, I know he's been asked, but you really tell me a team's not going to take a chance on him? I think so. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't have to get in that situation, but yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is he's probably not going to be in the lineup every night if he's playing like this. And, selfie scratching Reichel at this point, it's not going to do much for him, right? I mean, you want to see him. You don't want to see him scratched in the bottom 6. You want to see him in that top 6, but you got to earn that, right? Davidson's been talking about that a ton. You got to earn your spot on this team.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't want to see him in the top 6 if he looks horrible every night.
No, I agree. Yeah. I'm just saying it's like, especially if all these new players we got, it's like it's not just going to get handed to you, right? Like it was last year. So yeah, it's gonna be tough for him. But I don't think there's a Blackhawk on this team that has more pressure than Lucas Reichel this year. Yeah,
I'm also not as like worried about his development as much as I was last year, just because it's like if it doesn't work with him, it's not the end of the world. I know we drafted him really high. I know we drafted him 1st round, but it's like, dude, we have so many prospects. We have so many guys that are itching to get in and that are like on the verge and look like they're going to be within the next year or two. So it's like I'm not even like not all of these guys are going to pan out, like they're not all going to be true like top 6 NHLers.
Reichel would be a shame though, because like before Bedard, like he kind of was I know it kind of shows you how bad our prospect was, but before Bedzik, he kind of was the guy of that offense. It would be a shame 1st round pick like that to not work out, and especially because right now it's like I feel like that's kind of what we're lacking is kind of that last big 4 piece. We kind of thought he could be that guy for a bit, but now it's like probably more a 2nd line guy. But hopefully get that in this draft. But it's like you want guys like that in that offense to work out, right?
Yeah,
Oliver Moore's of the world too, So yeah, Frank Nazar's. Yeah.
Is this because it feels like here with Reichel, it feels like this is just like kind of it. Like this is what we're getting. Like I don't really know where we're gonna see the growth out of his game, and I know you guys don't want to see him make the mistakes in the top 6. But for me, it's almost like the Kevin Korchinski thing I was banging away the drum at, which is like
I want to see him in the top 6.
Yeah, like I would love to see Korchinski up on the top pair with Seth Jones playing 25 minutes a night. Like let's see it, right? If that's your role, like let's see you do it until it is undeniably fact that you can't do it anymore. And
yeah. Is that where you think we're at with Reichel? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I almost think it's like the coaching staff doesn't even want to see it. Like they don't want, like their spot for him, according to Luke Richardson and the rest of the coaching staff, is 13th forward right now. It's not even in the top 12. It's not even in the opening night lineup right now. So it kind of lends you to know, it kind of lends us to know how they feel about him too. It's like, oh, they don't even think he can really do it right now. And so you're left with this guy that it's like, okay, yeah, it is a 1st round pick. If we put him on waivers, we might lose him for nothing. I think Justin and I were talking about the other day. It's like, oh, I don't even know what else he has to prove in Rockford, right?
No, I mean, setting him down Rockford does nothing for him at this point. He's past his expiration date there. And like, yeah, I mean, he and Korchinski, it's different situations, right? I mean, 2020 versus 2022. Yeah. Kevin didn't have a choice last year. I mean, he had to be on either of the Hawks or Juniors. So that's a completely different situation. Can't compare those players. But yeah, with Reichel, I mean, you can't send him. It doesn't do anything. He's got to figure out in the Hawks. But just where in the lineup is the question, right? And he kind of has to do it on his own. Like, there's no more excuses, He's just got to figure it out and find chemistry.
Yeah, it's like they're not going to play him with Bedard and Teravainen to like
because he's going to hold those guys back.
Points,
Yeah. I think it's just very telling about how they feel about him in the organization too. I don't think it's as much, I don't think they're as high on him right now today as they may have been a couple of years ago.
And he
right?
wasn't a Davidson draft pick, so I don't think he would be shy to if he could get something, to move on. But I hope it doesn't come to that though.
Did you guys want to talk about Taylor Hall a little bit?
I kind of already did. I was just kind of the low management thing.
Yeah. I want
Yeah,
him
no.
to I want him to have a really big season so badly.
Yeah.
Like I
I know.
That'd
me
be huge
too.
for us. Get something big in return at the deadline for sure. I think he's definitely be put in a position to do that for sure. In that top 6, either playing with Bedsy, Kurashev, whoever. I mean,
So
he could have a big season.
You wouldn't want to keep him if he was, like really that good.
He's
No,
like
I don't think we
31.
really need to, right? I mean, yeah, he's 31, 32. I mean, we already got guys we're kind of keeping. So, and we got to bring in the new core. So it's like he's definitely a guy 1-year deal. It's like if he's producing at that rate, you could get a high draft pick. Like, why not move him?
Yeah,
right?
buy low, sell high. I would say, if we can get a first round pick out of him, that'd be, that'd be
Yeah,
amazing.
I think it could be like kind of like what Max Domi was in 2020.
But like, I
Get
do
something
think
back.
that he could be good like the next 2 years maybe. But after that,
yeah.
just especially with his injury problems. So, I mean, I don't know. I agree with you that I hope he goes off this year. And I hope that it's like he plays so well that it's like the front office has that problem of like, damn, should we get rid of this guy? He's done so well. Like, I hope that's the case. And
I
then
like
if they
the-
decide
yeah.
to keep him, then it's like, it's what KD wants. It's what's meant to be.
Taylor Hall never really got that big 8-year ticket, did he?
No, he bounced around a lot.
Yeah.
How many years did he play on the Devils?
It wasn't very
It was
long.
only like 3 or 4 years, right?
Yeah.
And he had the MVP season, but otherwise, I think
And
the
then
next
was
season
the
he had an injury.
Bruins like
No, then they
2 or
traded
3?
him to Arizona.
Arizona.
And then Sabres, that was brutal.
Yeah, but that was like a 1-year contract, and he was supposed to play with Eichel, and what was it like? It was like 1 year, $8 million or something like that, and
Yeah, ever since he left Edmonton, he's been all over the place, man.
yeah. But I think the deal he was on now, currently, that's about to expire, that was like a 4-year deal he signed with Boston after they moved him over from Buffalo. But yeah, Taylor Hall never got that big ticket, but yeah, no, I actually like that idea. I hadn't really considered much of moving him at the deadline, but that could be, a nice piece to have in your back pocket if you're Kyle Davidson to maybe, get a low 20s first round pick in the draft again next year. I know you wanted to talk about the power play and the defensive quarterbacks on it, but I did want to do this Bedard thing with Luke Richardson.
Richardson? Yeah, that was funny. I saw
We
that.
have the clip. Could we play it, Raven?
Tried last year. We took his sticks, and then he flirted with his contract with Sherwood or something by taking someone else's stick, and then we took a steal out of his skates one day, but and hit it. And I think we'll just have to, and we'll have some fun with it too. Like, and he smiled, but he still wanted to get out there and find a way to get out there. We tried last.
Thoughts?
I mean, it just shows you how into hockey is. I mean, they really have to tamper with this guy to keep him off the ice because they don't want him to overwork himself. I mean, when you're a 19-year-old, it's like, what is energy, right? I mean, it's like he's not feeling any of that like the veterans would, so he doesn't know. I mean, if Betsy, I think extra time doesn't hurt him, right? But I understand from the Hawks' perspective, it's like, okay, we want to keep this guy fresh. I think it's funny that they're hiding his sticks and his skate blades and stuff. It just, you hear a lot of stories like that. Betsy, it feels like he lives in that rink. I think he might have his own space there. I don't know, but it's pretty funny.
It gives
So,
Kobe.
it's so like it's good to hear though. Just like I feel like you kind of heard the same kind of things about like McDavid and McKinnon and stuff, that top echelon of players. Like he's doing the same thing where he's just addicted to it and is grinding harder than everyone else. It's like when you've got the guy that's more skilled than everyone else, but he also works harder than everyone else, it's like we're gonna have a superstar and a half.
And it goes back to my lead by example point. I'm not going to go over this conversation again. I'm happy that Flicky's the captain, but it does show there is a future captain there. Absolutely. I think the biggest quality a captain has is leading by example, and Betsy is that. I mean, nobody on the team works harder than him. It's not even close.
Going to the Yarmir Yager school of doing stair climbs at 3 a.m. after.
Yeah,
after
did
a
he
game.
like wear weights in practices too, so he'd be lighter in the games?
Well, yeah, weighted vests and weighted sticks and
He's
all
a
that stuff.
psycho.
He's still playing. Oh, I think this is last year, right? Didn't he announce? I mean, I feel like he says it every year though, so who knows?
Yeah. So, okay, let's talk about the power play a little bit. you have here in the notes, Justin. I can't take credit for these beautiful, beautiful notes that you do, but
Oh yeah.
they're trying to keep what worked at the end of last season, quick puck movement on the power play. Vlasic is quarterbacking the second unit with Kevin and Rockford.
I love that.
What do you want to see more though from the power play? Obviously, quick puck movement being top priority, but just people don't realize that it's like, oh, you got to let the puck do the work, especially on the power play. A lot of these times, the NHL players move fast, but the puck will always move quicker than feet do, right? And hands. So is there going to be a difference in this power play a little bit? Is there going to be something different that we see out of the power
I think the
play?
main difference isn't necessarily how it's run, but just there's more weapons to work with here. I mean, we got Taylor Hall back. We got Bertuzzi kind of great in that bumper slot, the net front position. We got Tavo to kind of feed Bedsy, or Bedsy to feed Tavo. Like, I think that's going to work out great. I love Vlasic quarterback at second power play. I think I've spoke about this in one of the episodes. Like, we've seen Vlasic's defensive game, but let's give him a chance to see like if he can expand as offense. I do think there's potential there. Letting him work on that second power play unit, I think that's a good opportunity for him to show what he's got in the offensive zone. But yeah, in terms of what more to see in the power play, yeah, I think if you're Seth, like let's not ignore wide open Bedard in the power play this season. That's what I want to see, because that happened way too much last season. But no, I think towards the end of the year last year, you kind of finally got to saw that power play cook with kind of that quick puck movement. Hopefully, we'll see more of that, more talented players on this squad this year.
Yeah. What I want to see is I want to see consistency, and I want to see when we're scoring. I want to see us scoring from like in similar ways, like Taylor Hall in this spot, like this is his spot. This is where he's scoring from. Bertuzzi in this area, like I want to see some continuity throughout the year of us kind of like looking for similar looks. Because then, I mean, if you just like the Oilers power play is probably like the best power play ever. And it's like, they do pretty much like almost the same thing every time. It's like you got Bouchard up top with the bomb. You've got Draisaitl like on the right side, and then you kind of just let McDavid circle, and then he drops to one of those, or he goes in and has a wrist shot. It's like I want to see something like that of our own, where it's like Bedsy circles with the puck on the right side, looks for a shot. If he doesn't have it, he drops it to Jones, who over to Tavo, and then right back. Like I want to see like almost like plays like in the NFL, like we're doing some of the same things, just trying to get the right look.
I think Bedsy and Kirsch are really strong towards the end of the season with those seam passes. We saw that a lot of Kane to break in Chicago and still with Detroit. I'd like to see more of that. I think with Bedsy Table, we could definitely see a lot of that this year. Kind of those cross-ice seam passes in the power play. So I think that could be pretty fun to watch. Yeah.
Would you guys like want to see Connor Bedard playing the full 2 minutes of the power play? Do you think that that's where this, you look at some of the big dogs around the league on other power plays? Like I think of, the Maple Leafs power play. I think of some of these other power plays, and some teams around the league, obviously they have their 2 units, and sometimes the second unit goes out there when there's 30 seconds left, 45, maybe even less, 15. But is there a world where we see Connor Bedard on both power play units?
I don't know about both. Sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
You go. Yeah, I think last year, I mean, I don't know if he played the full 2 minutes, but a lot of times he'd play like a minute and 30. Like he'd be out there almost the entire power play because the second unit was so useless. It's like you wanted to have them out there as little as possible because they never do anything. But no, I mean, I think this year, I think you like to see maybe a more balance of power. I think this team has potential to have 2 strong power play units this year where it's like you don't fully have to rely on the Bedard unit where he has to be out there the full 2 minutes. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, double shifting. I think Kane did that a lot too. So, but I mean, I don't think he necessarily has to do that this year, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. Anyway, Lee can keep it.
I think that just with the personnel we have, you see so many like successful teams in the NHL do it where like their first power play unit is obviously way better than their second, and they keep them out there for a minute and a half. I think just based on our personnel, like, yeah, our second power play unit's better than last year, but I think that our first is really what's going to give us the chance to score. I don't think it's like, oh, we drain these guys out, now let's get the second unit out there to go put one in. I think we should do the, minute plus, minute 30 for the first unit. Let them be out there as long as possible, as long as they're not tired and, just throwing around sloppy passes. Keep those guys out there as long as possible. That's what I would want to see.
Agree.
All right. What else? NHL player NHL 25 player ratings.
Oh yeah, I think 25 is out today, so maybe we could go over some of those. I
Is
know
it really
Betsy's.
out today?
I think it is, right, for everybody. I believe it's released today.
That's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool.
But
Are you
I
guys
know
big NHL players?
I don't get every single game necessarily because I feel like a lot of times it's just like
They're all
roster
the
updates and EA like they'll take out features and then bring them back years later. But I know I get like every other year or so. So I don't know if I'll get it this year. But I know Bedsy's an 88 overall. Of course he's an 88. Of all numbers, they had to make it 88 just with that Kane connection. I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, I think it's a pretty fair rating for him. But one thing I found pretty funny: Seth Jones 87, Alex Vlasic 80. What is that? How is Alex Vlasic
it's just
an
because of
80
the name.
overall?
They don't know puck. The people making these games, like they don't.
Defensive defensemen get disrespected so much in these games, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Hawks have 6 players in the top 300 of the ratings. You named 2.
I think
with Connor
Tavo's
Bedard.
like 86.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
Bert
All right,
Hall
all
in there,
right,
85,
all right.
84.
All right,
Yeah, I'm
hold
just
on.
going off of my head. I don't know if I'm.
All right, but I have
Yeah.
it in front of me. So you got now the 3. So Bedard's 88, Seth Jones 87, Tavo is at 86.
Yeah.
Who were the last 3 and what are their ratings?
Was
I think
Taylor
Bert
Hall?
are both 85, 84 or something like that. I think
Hall
is
is an
85. Bert 84, Kershaw 84, I believe.
Damn. All right, Justin's got
Yeah.
all this.
Damn.
on lock.
You looked at all these already?
I'm actually pretty in the show. What am I saying?
No,
Yeah.
I like Chell. I mean, I won't
Yeah.
lie. I'll get the game anyways. Like even
It's
if
mostly just to play with friends and stuff. Like there's
Yeah.
a few sports games that are fun to play with friends than show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm I'm all over the roster updates. Like I love that. I'm all
The
about
Hawks
it.
have an actual
frustrates me,
usable team
though.
this year.
Shell frustrates me so much though that like there's like metas to it. To like, it's like if so like I play it all the time with my roommates and it gets so frustrating because it's like I play like normal, like the way I build the puck up and work the puck around the offensive zone. It's like I play like a real NHL game.
Yeah,
but
same way.
that's not how you score in Shell. But the way you score in Shell is you get on odd man rushes and then you make the pass across the goal. That's the only way to score. Like there's no
like
point of
one-timers.
like shooting into traffic or like slap shots from the point. Never score.
Unless it's like a tip, that's it.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
like rip the puck like from like not too far out, and it's like the goalie will always, you have to make the cross ice pass to score, and it's so stupid. So that
that's
kind of
so funny.
frustrates me.
That's so funny you say that because I'm the exact same way. Like I play NHL like I'm playing actually like an NHL game. I like cycling the puck around and stuff.
Exactly,
Things like that.
yes.
I actually clear it. Like I'm on the penalty kill. I actually clear the puck. I don't just like I play it very much the way I normally would, but it doesn't really reward you for that, does it?
No, not at all. And so it frustrates me. And I'm like, you guys suck. Like you don't know what
And
you're
these
talking
casual guys who play me oftentimes beat me. It's like you're not playing it right, but that rewards that kind of casual player.
It's just that sweaty ass play. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
I do like
I'm
getting
not
a nice
biased.
shot from the point through though. That's always satisfying when you
It's so
find out.
satisfying.
Or,
Yeah.
But
or
they
go the
don't
bar down
happen,
goals.
dude. It's so hard to score from the point.
Yeah, it happens like
Yeah.
once every 50 tries. But
Yeah, like you can rip them. You can let them rip all game. You might get
I have
one.
these 40, 50 shot games. I have like 3 goals to show for
Yeah.
it.
and then it's like the floater from the point that goes in.
Yeah,
No, you literally have to take the puck in and then pass it across like the goal to another player. That's the only way to score in the game.
Yeah.
AJ
These crazy deeks. And I don't know all these deeks, man. I don't have the time or patience to figure out all these like button combo stuff. Like I just do the normal shit. I don't do anything fancy.
No, fuck that noise.
Yeah.
AJ Spelcy hat trick or Gordie Howe hat trick of
This guy.
first game in juniors back.
Yeah,
This
so
guy.
he's unbelievable. We were talking about it, Tassos. You weren't over here, and I want to get your kind of thoughts on it. He hasn't been playing like he's a dual sport athlete, and it's like you get that so much in baseball and football and in basketball, where it's like you get these guys that like play collegiate in both sports, and like Kyler Murray could have gone to the MLB or the NFL. You don't get that in the NHL. It's like if you're not playing hockey by the age of 1.5, it's like you're not going to go anywhere. And it's like this kid's. It seems like we got him out of nowhere because I mean his last. The 22-23 season in juniors, he had like, I want to say like 20 or 30 points only or something. And then this past year, he jumped up to like 47 points. And it's like this year, he might go point per game. Like it seems like he's just getting so much better every year because he's just an unbelievable athlete. And I really do believe he's going to be a number 2 center. Like I actually think that.
I see no reason why I can't be over a point per game at juniors this year. I think getting all those preseason games to the Blackhawks is going to make that junior game seem a lot slower and a lot easier. The way he played, like I'll be honest, I didn't know much about this guy when we drafted him. I had to do my research, but man, just watching him play these games, I'm excited for that guy, man. I mean, why can't he be a part of this core? Like, why can't he be a piece of this? He definitely has kind of that Andrew. I think Tassos mentioned this. He has kind of that Andrew Shaw kind of like bite to his game. I think that could be pretty intriguing. So I'm definitely very excited to see him progress for sure.
Plus, you go to dev camp and then you go to training camp and you're soaking in all these things. You know, dev camp is so much. I know the Hawks were the only team actually at their development camp that did not do anything on ice or on ice, and then all of it was off ice, right? So you're learning so much, and you're taking all these different tips and tricks and, you know, bits of the trade, right, that you're learning and trying to get an edge. And you know, there are a lot of kids in junior hockey that aren't drafted and aren't going to NHL development camp. So not only did you have the edge on them already because you got drafted and you were good enough to get drafted, but now you have the edge of all this knowledge, right, and all this experience that you got over this summer. And now if you're AJ Spelcy or any of these kids, like Nick Lardis, obviously in his draft +2 season now, but Ty Henry, like any of these kids going back to junior hockey, you're gonna have that edge on you where AJ's like, oh, here are 5 things the Blackhawks told me to work on when they cut me. You know, I'm gonna focus on these things and I'm gonna dominate everybody this year.
Yes. I want to predict now, like based on what we've seen, the small sample size, I genuinely believe he's going to be a top 6 forward and he will be our 2 center. I want to say that right now.
Yeah, I'm high on him. I think he's probably more bottom 6, but I'd love for you to be right and me to be wrong.
Yeah, I'm saying that in confidence right now.
First
fair enough.
Chicago Hockey Radio merch design. It's just a T-shirt that says AJ Spelcy 2C.
2C.
Fair enough.
My boy 2C.
Last thing for Blackhawks, and then we'll take a quick break and then we'll do a quick NHL hour as our first NHL regular season game is getting underway here momentarily. We had a couple of retirements, but one Hawks former
Anisimov, right?
Yeah, Artem Anisimov just announced his retirement
legend
on Instagram.
Legend that came Panarin line. He kind of made that line tick, man. Got in front of those net front areas and made those screens happen. Let them do their thing. That was a great line, the best line in the league for 2 years, and then Stan Bowman decided to throw it all away. But no, I'll miss that guy. He was also pretty good on the Rangers as well, Jackets. So definitely I miss that guy a lot.
Did you guys ever see that play on the Rangers? Forgot who he scored against, but he scores, and then as he's skating away from the goal, he gets down on
he does the shotgun.
Shooting.
That was awesome. It just pissed the team off.
Have you seen Sean Avery was on that team, and I've seen a clip of Sean Avery comes into he's the first player into the locker room in intermission, and Anisimov is just there with his hands and on his face. And Avery just looks at him and just chuckles and goes and sits down. It's like one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It's so good.
That clip is from 13 years ago. Almost.
Crazy. It's crazy.
That's wild.
December 8th, 2011. Artem Anisimov, and then he does the shotgun, and then there's
that was great.
A full line brawl after the fact.
Yeah, they just jump him. What a legend.
Oh.
I'm trying to see who the Tampa Bay Lightning goalie is, but I don't know that we're gonna get that. 2011, it might have been Dwayne Rollison, to be honest with you.
Ben Bishop, maybe?
Might have been a little early for Bishop. Although maybe not, actually, since he was the goalie when they played in 2013, right?
Yeah.
15?
2015. It was 2015.
Then he had those stomach cramps or whatever it was, and then Vasilevsky had to come in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, time flies. All right. That's it for Hawks Hour of Chicago Hockey Radio. Keep it here. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll be back with some NHL talk. Chicago Hockey Radio, NHL Hour. Lee, turn your camera around. We can't see you and you're sideways on the live. There you go, brother. All better. NHL Hour, Chicago Hockey Radio. It's going to be a short and sweet NHL Hour, and if Justin has to leave, Lee and I will hold down the fort for a couple extra minutes here. NHL talk. Clayton Keller is now the captain of the Utah Hockey Club, Central Division foes of our Chicago Blackhawks. Your thoughts, fellas, on the first franchise's captain? I know, they were the Arizona Coyotes, but new franchise history, no statistics from the old Coyotes or even the old Jets franchise. This is brand new. First game will be the first game. First goal will be the first goal. And the first captain is Clayton Keller.
Yeah, I think it's a good call, man. I think if there's a guy to lead that franchise, the first captain, I think that's him. He kind of felt like the leader there in Arizona towards those last few years, and so I think it's the right decision. He's your franchise player. I like Keller. I always feel like he's kind of one of the more underrated players in the league. I mean, I say that obviously, people know Keller's what he's capable of, but I feel like he doesn't really get the respect he deserves sometimes. So I think there's another gear to his game yet that we could see. So yeah, I'm excited to see him in Utah this year. I think that could be a potential playoff team. I really think that. So yeah, good call.
Should have been Nick Schmaltz.
Really?
Oh yeah, Blackhawks legend. So I think it's just a Kraken now don't have a captain, right? Yeah.
It is just the Kraken that don't have a captain now. Which I had forgotten. I think I said on the morning show today that they had never had a captain before, but that is not true. They had Mark Giordano as captain.
That's right.
When they first started. I totally
Giordano's
forgot
pizza. Yeah.
Giordano's pizza.
More of a Illuminati's guy.
Yeah, Illuminati's is where it's at. I totally agree.
Can I just say this? I don't know if I've voiced this opinion on air. I don't like deep dish pizza.
Oh,
I mean, that's fine.
You're like Tyler
I
Bertuzzi over
understand that, but like Lou's is so good. Like Lou's deep dish is so fucking good. I don't like Giordano. Like if I just had Giordano's, I would agree with you. I don't think I'd like. I also don't like Pequod's that much either.
Oh, Pequod's
overrated.
Oh, yeah. What?
I agree with Tom.
Dude, Pequod's is not even pizza.
We're totally on the
is
same
like
page here.
it's not deep dish. It's not the same thing as Lou Malnati's and Giordano's. It's like a focaccia. It's like an Italian focaccia with like pizza stuff on top of it.
I think
there's nothing better than eating Illuminati's pizza. I mean, that's better than porn. I love that shit.
I think the
I love
true Chicago pizza is the tavern style. That's my
yeah, it is. That's more classic.
Do you guys have favorite spots for that kind of pizza?
I like Nick and Vito's on the south side. That's some good tavern style.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, I went to for the first time ever, like a couple weeks ago, to Bird's Nest.
Oh, so good, dude.
Dude, so good. Their wings are unbelievable, and their pizza's so
you guys at Buffalo Joe's?
great.
Buffalo Joe's wings?
Dude, I think I've only been once, and I thought it was so mid.
We are ops
people
now.
say so.
We are ops.
People argue between Buff Joe's and Bird's Nest. The Buff Joe's, their wings are like tiny.
That sauce is delicious, though.
Yeah, but
the
wings suck. They're so small.
Yeah, but they give you so much of them.
I don't know. I went one time, and maybe it was just a bad day for them, but I was not impressed. I like my favorite wing spot. Tassos, you know my favorite wing spot in the city.
What?
Fucking come on, our
Is it
stomping
Kelly's?
ground.
Is it
Wings
Kelly's?
Wednesday,
Of
baby.
course.
NHL hours become
Me and
Chicago
Tassos have
food
gone
discussion.
to Kelly's. Oh my god, so many times.
Yeah.
Kelly's wings is my favorite.
How do we go from Clayton Keller captain to talk about Chicago food?
Because it's more
What's
important.
going
We're talking about the more important topics, which is Chicago buffalo wings.
Fair enough.
So the NHL season is getting underway just right now as we speak.
Right now, right?
Yeah, puck drop momentarily between the New Jersey Devils and the Buffalo Sabres. I might try and flick that on one of the TVs here. Predictions on who gets the first goal of the 24-25 NHL season.
Rasmus Dahlin.
I'll say Nico Hischier. Why not?
Give me Jack Hughes.
I was going to say him. That was too easy.
Is that too easy?
No, that's fair. That's fair.
That's too easy. Sorry.
No, you can pick Jack Hughes.
I could have said Paige
Paige
Thompson, but I wasn't going to be a square.
All right. Well, Bowen Byram then is getting the first goal of the season.
There you go.
Owen
There you
Power.
go.
Owen Power, dude. I drafted Owen Power in my fantasy hockey league, and I'm doing fantasy hockey this season too. This is going off the rails, but it's Friday. Let's go off the rails a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
please.
Oh shit! I think does this count for this week's matchup? I may have forgot to set my lineup. Shit.
Oh, dude, does
Because
it?
like I was thinking it won't start till next week because it's a full week. But I don't know if this counts with that. Because
I've never done fantasy hockey.
This is my
Think
first year
about that.
doing it in a long time, and a friend asked me to join, and I did it, and I drafted a pretty fantastic team, I have to say. But
I took Betsy Kaner with my first 2 picks.
Oh wait, yeah, I saw you, Justin. Yours
we're going for the
you
entertainment.
basically just
team.
drafted the Blackhawks, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I got Jonathan Tays on my team. We'll see if he comes back.
Oh my
no
god!
way, you actually drafted Jonathan Tays?
Here's my last pick, Jonathan Tays.
That's awesome, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I wish we were doing it for money, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I would not be able to keep track of it if I wasn't doing it for money.
Yeah. We got
Yeah, you
enough,
need some incentive, right? Yeah.
we got enough hockey guys in the office here. Maybe next season we'll do a
for sure.
fantasy hockey Alithio Network wide.
Yeah, but buy-in should be like $200.
Yeah, we could probably do a last minute one, right? I mean, it just wouldn't include the first bit, but this weekend, if you want to, we could do a draft. We can,
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, because the
I'd be
season really
down.
doesn't. Let's be honest, the season doesn't really. I know it starts today, but like Tuesday's really when it gets going, because like that's like Europe shit. So I think we could still do a fantasy thing this week.
Yeah,
But who
we
else?
could do it.
Who else would we get?
Well, it would just be everybody that works here.
Oh, true.
That'd be fun. Yeah, we could do that.
We'll have
On ESPN or
everybody
something.
buy-in
Yeah.
as your salary.
Yeah, right. That'd be fun. Let's do it.
All right. What else do we have? I mean, we've talked a little bit about the Amazon thing a bit on this show, but did you guys have any more thoughts on the McDavid thing?
I'm gonna probably binge most of it tonight, I'd imagine, because I'm doing nothing all day but sitting on the couch. So I'd imagine I'm gonna get through hopefully most of it, if not all of it, this weekend.
Yeah, same. Watch it this weekend for sure. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll
Glad we
probably,
could actually watch it. I was worried. You had me worried that only Canada could watch it. So yeah, that's good. Glad it's available to us Americans.
And
Yeah.
let's if we both do watch all of it, we should have like our NHL
Talk about
hour
it
on
Monday.
Monday should be like largely about
Let's do it.
take
Episode
notes.
review.
Take
Yeah.
notes.
Let's
Yeah,
do
for
it.
sure.
All
All right.
Yeah, I'm down. NHL Face Off Amazon series review on Monday from Chicago Hockey Radio in the NHL Hour.
Sweet.
Um,
Yeah.
Line doesn't blame Cedric Paré for his injury. In fact, I saw the clip, and he's more just saying that he put himself in a bad spot, even. And I think he escaped with that injury. You and I talked about it on Wednesday, Justin, that
Yeah.
it could have been a lot worse. than
Dodge
it
a
was.
bullet. Yeah, for sure.
But he doesn't even really, take any ill will towards it, which is a good outlook to have. That's a
Good
very
mentality,
mature- yeah.
How long is he out for?
2-3 months.
Jeez.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse. It could have been, yeah.
Montreal's getting hit with that injury bug.
Yeah, they've had that problem the last few years. I pray for Doc that he's healthy this year.
Yeah.
Flames also signed Tyson Berry 1 times 1.25. He was on a PTO at Flames camp. One, are you guys surprised that Pierre-Edouard Bellemare was cut from his PTO in Colorado? I saw a couple other players, lesser known guys that probably, or lesser, guys that we expected to make NHL lineups have been cut, but are you surprised that some of these guys like Max Pacioretty and Tyson Berry and Blake Wheeler hasn't even gotten a PTO anywhere look? And are we just kind of squeeze? Has the NHL done its job with the salary cap and squeezed out a lot of players, or is it just there are too many players now and guys like Tyson Berry can't get jobs? I find it hard to believe that Tyson Berry couldn't have gotten a job with a better team. Maybe it was just more wanting to become a regular NHL guy, but, and then I wanted to dovetail this maybe into a conversation about who you guys think, because we brought up Taylor Hall and, this Tyson Berry contract to me screams trade me at the deadline. But, who do you guys think are maybe players that might get moved at the deadline too?
Good question. Yeah.
Just silence.
Excellent question.
I was prepared to talk about Blake Wheeler, but
All right, we'll talk about Blake Wheeler then.
No, I don't know. I think some of these guys, like, how helpful is like a Blake Wheeler during the regular season right now? You know,
Not
like,
very.
Yeah, he's kind of
so
washed.
I think maybe that's kind of like the mentality. Like, it's a long year, 82 games. It's like you're not just gearing up for a playoff run right now where you have like a set limited amount of games. It's like, you know, is Blake Wheeler going to be helping you out night in, night out through an 82 game season? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little surprised Pacioretty hasn't gotten a deal with Toronto yet. I mean, I know
think
he's
he
kind of.
will. I think he will.
You think he will? Because like
Yeah.
I know he's kind of he's had his injury issues. I know he's not the same player, but I think he's still a good enough guy to help out that squad. I mean, especially if the players that got there, it could be a good complementary piece. So yeah, I mean, I imagine he's probably next. Maybe we'll hear something. Just because I said that, I'll probably sign right after the show ends. But we'll see.
Tassos, would they put him on like the third line with Domi or something?
Who, Pacioretty? I mean,
Yeah.
I think in Toronto, the left side of the ice is particularly concerning for them. You know, you got Matthew Nyes, and then the question marks kind of exist. You know, you lose Tyler Bertuzzi to the Blackhawks. So I think there's competition there. You know, and Nick Robertson is a player with a lot of intrigue in camp there, but they have him primarily playing on the right side of things. So I think there's opportunity there for sure for Pacioretty to even slide in the top 6 if they need him. I think you're hard pressed if you're at this stage having Max Pacioretty playing your top 6, but you know, who knows? Maybe there's still a lot left there to give in the stick. But yeah, I think that's the plan. You know, I've had a lot of people on from Toronto media, and yesterday Luke Fox told me that he does expect Pacioretty and Steven Lawrence to sign contracts off their PTOs.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. I guess it was just a Barry conversation. I was surprised that it took that long for him to get a deal and that he even had to go in on a PTO. Like, I remember Tyson Barrie is just, you know, obviously we're a long ways away from the Colorado days of Tyson Barrie, but you know, like he was one of the premier power play quarterbacks in the league for a while there. And, you know, I know things went off the rail in Toronto a little bit after the Nazem Kadri trade, but you know, he was a beloved piece in that Oilers locker room too. Like when they moved him to Nashville for Matthias Ekholm, like that was one, exactly what the Oilers needed, but two, it didn't really sit well with a lot of the players that Barrie was the guy going the other way. And I don't think it sat well with Barrie himself even. I don't know. I hope he turns it around. I'd like to see him have a really good season. Yeah.
I think it's time for our token Swayman discussion.
Yeah, I mean, I just like I've been trying to avoid it as much as I possibly can, even on the morning show too. I'm trying not to.
Dude, it's a circus. I'm so excited to watch him too in this Prime show because it's gonna be.
Oh yeah, that's gonna
like
be fun.
this is what led us here.
Did he write down like an entire list in arbitration last season or something about like something?
I'd love to see that list. It was apparently everything that they said bad about him or whatever. And one
That's wild.
I know one of the things was that he was not reliable in the playoffs. Which I guess he is
the
now.
23 playoffs or 20 or
Yeah, I mean he didn't even really play in the 23 playoffs.
yeah, so that's why it must have been. I'm confused by that.
It's like, oh, when did they put him in? They put him in there for game 7, didn't they?
Yeah,
And then that was
but
it.
I saw the Bruins claimed they did claim to goalie on waivers. Yuri Patera.
Yeah.
Does that mean anything? Like, does that tell us anything there, or is that just I don't know? Am I reading too much into that?
Well, no. I mean, I talked about it yesterday on Good Morning Hockey, where I thought it was, you know, even more pressure, right? It's goaltending depth, but like, you know, you bring in Patera, and no, I don't know if he's going to be the backup to Eunice Corpusalo or if he's going to be the starter in Providence or something like that. They have another guy, Brandon Bussey, who's really good and has put some good seasons down in the American Hockey League, bit of an older goalie. But I just think that it's like if you're Boston, you're banking on the system and the defenseman in front of your goaltender, and you know the team playing according to the system that Jim Montgomery has put out in front of them, and that they believe that it could be any of the three of us in the net there, and they'll still let in 3 or fewer goals. Okay. You know,
but we are all on the same page that Boston is not going to win a playoff series without Jeremy Swayman, right?
No.
Yeah, no, they're not going to make the playoffs without Jeremy Swayman.
Right. Okay. Good. Yeah. No. No chance.
But
they're fucked without him.
I think the Bruins think that they will, though. Like I think they think their system is
they're
built.
delusional over there.
Sick defense. Your forward group is horrible.
Yeah.
They have 4. I feel like they have like 4 good, like really good players.
Who?
And then nothing.
Marchand, Pasternak, McAvoy.
McAvoy.
Who else? You know, Swayman, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
that's the 2 Lindholms, Hampus and Elias now.
A lot of runs through, Elias Lindholm. What can he do as the 1C? I'm not really moved by that. I feel like that's not
At
really
all.
going to
That's
change.
not a 1C. That's not a 1C.
Yeah, no, he's a 2C. I know. I'm saying I
that
agree.
is a 2C.
I think
What
their center.
what
Yeah,
what winning team is going to have him as a 1C? Like
yeah.
that's just like
That's
look around
this
the
isn't
league.
this isn't his Calgary Flame days anymore.
It's
Yeah,
not how
no.
this works.
No. So yeah, they're kind of screwed.
Yeah, they're cooked.
With Kachuk and Gaudreau on his wings, it's not really.
Yeah,
the
they made
case
him look
in
a bit
Boston.
better, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I think, like I said, with the Patera claim off waivers, I just think, well, one, that was the first waiver claim we've had this training camp, so that is enough to get me excited a little bit. But yeah, I just think it's like, they are planning to start the season without Jeremy Swayman. Even if they even if they signed a contract today, like it's not like he's going to be ready to go for the start of the NHL training camp. Justin, you got to get out of here.
Yeah, I got to dip to get classes, but you guys can finish it out, and I'll see you guys Monday.
All right.
All right, Justin. See you Monday.
All right. Bye, Justin.
Hasta la vista.
Dude, but I'm so pumped that this is happening. I just love the drama.
I wonder
like
what the transition here is going to look like now that we don't have Justin anymore on the live.
It took me 2 seconds, and all I had to do was click Lee's camera on.
Hey,
So
let's go.
We're good.
There we go, Raven.
We're 2-person now. Let's go, Lee. Let's close out this beautiful week of hockey.
I actually got to go, bro. I'm sorry. I'll stop talking. This is all you, G.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. All right. No. But I don't know. Where were we? Oh, Swayman. Just like the
Swayman. Just like it's great. This is what we needed as fans. It's like I'm just pumped that it's like it's such an absurd situation that like I can't even believe it's happening. But it is, and you can't make it up.
What do you think the resolution to this is? Do you think that there's going to be a resolution soon? It feels like it's just getting farther apart.
I think that no matter what, I feel like if I'm Boston, you have to sign him, because if you don't, you look like fucking idiots.
Yeah.
You look so stupid.
Yeah,
Especially especially when you inevitably probably don't make the playoffs without him. Then it's like, okay, you just made all these off-season moves to try to like shore up the defense and bolster the team a little bit and be more competitive and address kind of what happened last year. And then you don't even make the playoffs. It's like it was all for nothing.
You know who else only has 1 year left on his contract too is Brad Marchand. This is the last year of his deal.
I mean, if he wants to keep playing, I'm sure he'll if he wants to stay in Boston, I would assume he'd take like a price cut.
You know? He's been making $6 million only for like the last 7, 8 years.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
Like we're talking about guys who have like done the Sidney Crosby thing. Like Brad Marchand is in that conversation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like that whole perfection line time with Bergeron and Pasternak, Brad Marchand was making like $6.5 million a year.
That's pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, he could ask for more. He could ask for the same. He could, I don't know if he's going to go to the Sidney Crosby school of taking less money to help your team win. But yeah,
Bruins, I mean, they need help on offense. Like they just don't have any like. They don't have depth. They don't have the high end talent outside of Pasternak and Marchand. It's like they need forwards, and now they don't even have a goalie.
Yeah,
so.
But it's the Bruins. It feels like they're just gonna like turn some of these guys that they have in the system and bring them up from Providence. Guys you've never heard of, like John Beecher and Mark McLaughlin, and like some of these different players are just gonna come up and fill their role perfectly on the bottom lines. So I don't know.
But not if they don't have Swayman though.
Yeah, not if they can't get saves. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely one of the most interesting teams in the NHL to me right now. I don't know if we have anything else on our list, but did you have any other thoughts? Thomas Greiss retired, Gabe Bork retired. Did you have any thoughts in general on the league? On the start of the hockey season? Anything else you want to get off your chest?
No, I'm just so excited and so ready for it. So.
Yeah, we haven't gotten we got our first goal of the NHL season, and
who was it?
Wrap there. It was Jack Hughes. I was right. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god!
I'm kidding. It was Stefan Nason. Nason, 1-0 Devils over in Czechia right now.
That was actually going to be my next pick.
It was Rasmus Dahlin and then Stefan Nason. Yeah. Did your $500 cash out on that bet?
Yeah, right. I should have put the house on it. I knew it.
Yeah. Stefan Nason from Jonathan Kovacevic. I'm sure everybody had that on their bingo card today as the first goal of the
That would have been a
24-25
juicy
hockey
parlay. That would have been a juicer.
season. Dude,
That's so
I
funny.
mean, what are the odds? I mean, what? It's like 1 in 40, you know, that you picked the first
Yeah,
goal
no,
scorer
I
of the
mean
game.
that realistically, them two to connect for a goal would have been like probably plus like 1,500. It would have been something ridiculous.
Almost plus 15,000, I feel like, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
But no, I got nothing else.
Yeah, no, me neither. That's gonna wrap it for
Good to be
Chicago
back.
Hockey Radio. Yeah, happy to have you back, brother. Glad you're feeling better.
I'll be in studio on Monday too.
Yeah, heck yeah, love that. We'll be back next week. Is the week of real regular. I know we got regular season hockey on right now, but
No,
and
it
I will
doesn't
go
count.
turn on. But Justin is right. It doesn't count. They are not here in North America. And we will be back here next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and as well as Tuesday, post Hawks versus Utah Hockey Club. We'll be here, so everybody be on the lookout for that. Subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also leave a 5-star rating and review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your pods. And leave a comment, leave a question for us. Shoot us a DM at Chicago Hockey Radio on Instagram. We'd be happy to read your questions. We'll probably do a voicemail segment next week, and we'll see everybody Monday. Peace out.
Absolutely. Peace out.